Hi everyone. Today I would like to discuss with you if there is any dispute between customer and supplier related to the tax invoice. I get a lot of calls from customers saying that they make the supply on time and issue the tax invoice and pay the tax amount to the FTA within the due date. But later stage, the customer extends the payment. Have you ever faced such a situation? I would like to explain this with an example. Suppose on 1st January 2019, you supplied for 500 dirhams worth of goods and tax amount is 25,000. You paid in the first VAT return period itself. Thereafter, the client delayed the payments. He did not pay up to 31st May 2019. For example, 5 months delay was there. Now when you are asking for the payment in the month of June, he is saying he missed to take the input credit in the month of January. So issue a new invoice. How can you handle this situation? See, in this case, the supply date is 1st January 2019. Since the supply was not cancelled, you should not go for change in the invoice or never issue a tax credit note for cancelling the invoice. In case the supply happened earlier, was cancelled due to any variation in the price or due to any cancellation, then you can issue a tax credit note. In that case only, you can issue a new tax invoice in case supply is happening later stage. In short, only to settle the payment between the supplier and customer, never issue a tax credit note and never issue a current dated invoice to replace the previous invoice. It's your responsibility to issue the tax invoice on right time. In this scenario, how we can educate the customer? You should explain to the customer that in case if we miss the invoice earlier in the first quarter to take the input credit, he can use the voluntary disclosure form because the value of the input credit he missed to take is more than 10,000. So he can use voluntary disclosure form and take the input credit. Suppose the customer doesn't pay at all, it becomes bad debt. How we can treat the bad debts in the books of accounts and in the VAT return? Yes, there is a specific provision mentioned in the VAT law. In case the customer doesn't pay within 6 months from the date of supply, you are eligible to take the reversal of the tax paid to the authority. That means in this case, you paid for 25,000 tax to the authority. If the customer is not paying that 525,000, at least 25,000 you can claim back from the authority. In this case, you have to make sure that you should write off the receivable from the customer from the books of accounts, and you should intimate the customer that such write-off has been made from your books of accounts. Only if you satisfy the 3 conditions, then only you will be eligible to take reversal of the tax paid against bad debt. See, in this chart I have shown in the form 201 form, in the adjustment column I have shown in box number 1C, 25,000 is reversed. This tax you paid against the supply earlier and now became bad debts, you can reverse the tax earlier paid to the authority. It's very important that customer as well as supplier should know the basics clauses related to VAT law. You should educate the customer in case if he doesn't understand the clause related to this one. In case if you cancel the previous invoice and issue a new invoice, you are violating the law.